Hello, and welcome to another Index.io webinar where we talk about the latest and greatest changes to our platform, tips and tricks for the legal world, and more. If you don't already know, Index.io is a do-it-yourself e-discovery platform where you can process, review, and produce your legal documents with ease. If you have electronic data, we make it easy to search through it and focus on what you need, and our auto-scale technology means it's always ready as fast as possible. There's no user fees, no long-term contracts, and you can get set up and running all on your own in minutes without ever talking to a sales rep. For today's topic, we're going to be doing a demo of our mobile data review system. Index.io can now support mobile images from both Oxygen and Celebrite. If you want to add these into one of your projects, you're going to have to use the IIO drive. This is the same thing you'll use if you need to upload files that are larger than 2 gigabytes, so you might already be kind of familiar with it. To start, I'm going to open up FileZilla. This is what you'll use to connect to your IIO drive. When you've created your project, it's going to mail you credentials to access this, so you'll come up to the top and fill those in here, and then hit Quick Connect. That'll connect you to your project-specific IIO drive and let you upload files into it. So for these mobile data images, I'm going to go into Uploads, and then Mobile Data. I'm going to take this iPhone image that I have, drag it across, and let it upload here. And then once that's complete, you'll go back into your project and hit Add Collection. We'll fill out this basic form, tell it who the data is from. We'll say this is my phone, and call this iPhone image. Hit Next, and then we're going to go over to the Forensic Image option. So from here, you're going to see everything you've put in that mobile data folder. I can select that image I've got. This is a Celebrite image. I have to tell it which type it is. And like I said, we can do either Celebrite or Oxygen as long as it's version 12 or later. Check this last box that you understand this is a billable event and hit Save. And now it's going to validate this image, make sure it actually is the type of image that you said it was and that everything in there is as expected, and then it'll start processing. You can see it's validated the image, it's moved into processing, and now I just have to wait for this to complete. So once it does finish, or if you want to check on the progress, you can switch back to your Collections tab here. And this one's already finished processing. It was a pretty small file, so we can jump in and browse this collection, and then here's you're going to see everything that came out of this phone image. So the easiest way to look and work with these is to open up this first XML file that you're going to find, and this is going to open up the phone viewer. So this will let you see all of the different conversation threads over here on the left. You can browse the conversations over here on the right, and once you find something that's relevant to your case or that you know you want to produce, you can come in and select either a small selection of this chat, come down and hit Save, and save just that one portion. Or if I come into another conversation here, maybe I want to just save this entire thing. Let's find a longer one here. And it'll actually do it in 24-hour snippets. So I can save this entire conversation thread, come down here, just save the whole thing. And now it's going to break it into 24-hour PDF segments, and you'll get a PDF for each 24-hour chunk of this conversation that you can then produce and work with from there. So if I want to come over and take a look at any of these that I've done, I can click on this pre-created search called Extracted Conversation. And that's going to take me into all of these snippets that I've saved. So when you open one of these up, you'll see over here on the left that it shows the PDF, that same view we just looked at where it's got the actual back and forth conversation breakdown. You can tag these records over here on the right just like anything else in Index.io, add notes if you'd like to, come over and view any of the metadata. You can still see from the original phone, it has all of the to, the from, the sent date, all of this transfers over to this new PDF we create for you. So all of your metadata when you produce it is going to match the original. And so that's sort of how this conversation snippet saving works. And if you want to do it as the individual messages, you can work with it in that format as well. So I'm going to go back to Collections here, go back to that phone image, come back to Browse, and underneath that phone, you can see, or underneath that XML report, you can see we've got some voicemails. There's all of these individual chat messages, so I can click on one of these, and it's going to show me just this one chat. If I want to see this in context with everything else, I can come down here and see View in Conversation. It's going to kick me to back to that viewer that we just saw, and now you can see this highlighted conversation along with everything else that was happening at the time. And these kind of messages are helpful in that you can actually search these before going through that big conversation view. So if I wanted to say, show me everything that has the word history in it that's in this phone. There we go. Now it's found that one chat message here that had that term. I can open it up and either tag this one conversation to be exported or go back to the conversation viewer, grab the things around it. It makes it a little bit easier to kind of work with the different parts of the phone and either save out the parts that you need or just grab the individual messages. And something else cool that it's going to do for you is once we've turned one of these into a conversation, so if I come over here and say, let's grab that one, we'll grab the picture before it, the couple messages after. I'm going to save that snippet. Now if I click on this and go back to view that resource, you can see that it's saved, that it's been extracted as part of a conversation. So we know that this message, has already been turned into something we're going to produce. If I see that tag on something, it's probably a good indicator that I can ignore this moving forward. Or maybe I need to ignore that tag from my future searches so that I'm not re-extracting stuff I've already pulled out. All right, so once you've completed your review, you've extracted your conversations, tagged the records that you want to produce, we can run an export. So I'm going to come over to the export tab in the project, add a new one. We'll call this phone image. And I'm going to go down and find that on the left. And I'm going to just go ahead and say we're going to do everything that I extracted as a conversation. So you can come down to the bottom here. It's going to give you a quick summary. We can see we extracted 7 different items from this image. Check that I've reviewed the above. Go to next. And here you can pick out the different output options you want. So I want PDFs from this export. I want them to be in color. And then at the bottom, I just want to do a basic load file. We're going to keep it really simple. I just want basically PDFs with Bates numbers of this stuff that I've saved out. So I'll go to the next step. I'm going to call this phone. So my Bates numbers is going to just show up as phone dash number 1. And let's say we've already done a production before and we need to start at a higher number. So we can set that up as well. And maybe I want to add, just to make sure that this is all protected, I'm going to add a confidential label to all of these. Hit next. We're on the last step of export. It's going to give me a quick summary here. Just double check my settings. Once I'm happy with everything, I can hit start. And that's it. Producing mobile data with Index.io is that easy. If you have any questions for us, reach out to our support staff at the number or the email address on your screen. If you'd like to set up a free demo or a free training, we'd be happy to set that up for you, show you how our mobile data reviewer works, or teach you about anything else in the system. All the training is always included with our platform. User accounts are also free, and you get a free trial project when you sign up, so definitely get in, check out the system, reach out to us if you have any questions. We're here to help.